finished my grocery shop and I'm about to start my meal prep. But for this video sequence, I want to talk to you guys about meal planning and how to spend your money wisely. You might be wondering, how do I get all of this food for so cheap? Well, my first tip is to plan. There are so many great resources around the area that you can use to get your groceries really cheap. For example, I always go to the public market, usually on Thursdays, when it's really dead, so that you deal with a lot of people who a lot of times might not be super friendly. I also love going to Aldi. It's definitely the best deal, especially for your produce. Sometimes when I'm really tight on time, I just go to my local grocery store. But I try to get as few things as possible because it does tend to get a little bit pricey. For that are to buy things in bulk and to pick out your fruits and vegetables individually and weigh them because you're always going to get the better deal that way. Also, ask your local grocery store if they have some sort of incentive plan. For example, I love to go to Tops because the more groceries I buy, the more discount I get on gas for your car. Not the other kind of gas because, well, I don't think we want a discount on that. Check around the area to see if you have a BJ's or a Sam's Club. I know a lot of people love Costco. I've never been though because it's in California or something. We totally have one here, but like I don't have a membership. So, anyways, make sure that you set time aside to plan your prep. Now, I'm going to go inside and I'm going to unpack my groceries. I'll take a picture of my food and I'll tell you exactly how much money I spent. Bet you come to find out that eating healthy really isn't that expensive, blah, 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 blah. Attempt 2. Expensive as you think it is. As long as you plan ahead and you use your resources around you, I bet it's a lot cheaper than that Michael Kors bag you bought. Make sure you stay tuned because you don't want to miss my photo op with my food, obviously, and you won't want to miss and I'm going to film my entire prep today, and I'll probably speed it up so you don't have to watch me for 2 hours dance around my kitchen like a crazy person while my child cries.
Okay guys, so for the last segment of this video, I'm going to basically film my entire prep for you. As you saw in the clip before, the cost of my grocery shop, it's really not that bad at all. It stays at about between $60 to $75 a week for myself. The things that were crossed off on the list are things that didn't pertain to this prep. So some of you aren't moms. I put some baby food on there when I went shopping, so stuff like that. I got myself the cutest little notebook. It has dogs on it. So I crossed those items off the list. The first video that you guys watched was my competition style prep. So this is mostly proteins, and that is going to be a little bit more costly. That's about $100 a week, and if you were doing some sort of competition prep, or maybe you're already very established in your fitness journey and just want to get a little bit more cut, it's recommended to follow that for about an 6 to 8 week period. So that plan is a little bit more costly. The first video, again, for the competition style prep is about $100 a week. Last week's prep that I did, which was the second video that you guys saw, the one that includes the dairy, that one is also about $75. I did the majority of my grocery shopping at Aldi. For that, there were only 1 or 2 items on there that I had to go to my local grocery store for. So that was also about $75. And this grocery prep, as you can see, was very inexpensive. This meal plan for week 3 that I'm doing of my Shift Shop program, which if you choose to continue on with your free trial, you will be added to that week 3 group, but gave you a little sneak peek of the grocery list there. Again, very reasonable, but that is no carb, no dairy. So the 3 plans that I showed you my preps for, they're all very different, but all very feasible depending on your fitness goals, and trying to be relatable as far as finances and your familial situations. So I am going to get all of my groceries ready and set out, and then I will start the timer again so you guys can watch my meal prep. I will probably time lapse that video so you guys don't have to watch me dance around for 2 hours in my kitchen like a crazy person, but you guys will at least be able to get the gist of what I do. I always set my timer on my, or not my timer, my preheat the oven. So I always preheat the oven first so that it's ready to go by the time my prep is all laid out and ready. So I'm gonna go grab those groceries, set up my camera, and we will do this. Okay, so I'm gonna slow this video down. Basically what I do, bring the camera over here, is I bring some of my leftover prep food, I pull it all out of the fridge, and then I cut my fresh veggies and I put it in a new Tupperware bin. So I just chopped up some fresh cucumbers. Then what I'll do is, because I want to obviously use the fresher ones a little bit later, I'll use my cucumbers from last week first, and I'll just put my cucumbers over the top of my fresh ones so that I use the older ones first. Cucumbers stay really fresh along with a lot of other veggies as long as you store them properly. So I'm chopping those up while my oven preheats. Now, with squashes, a lot of times they're really hard to cut. A little trick is put them in the oven for about 15 minutes at 350, about 10-15 minutes, and then cut them. And then once you cut them, then prep. I do a light, very light spray of olive oil, like just a and then stick them back in the oven, and then scrape and prep them for the rest of your food prep. So they have a very hard outer shell. Don't try to cut them, you will hurt yourself. But just a little tip, cook them first and then cut them. So I'll go back to speeding this video up, and I'll just stop for a few tips here and there. Okay, so my squashes are almost done, and as you can tell, I've been getting my meat ready to cook. I'm gonna do my ground beef, my chicken breasts, my pork. While those are cooking, I'll finish prepping my celery and then my stewed tomatoes. I also have some mushrooms that I want to chop up and some cauliflower that I'm gonna bake. So I'm actually going to charge my phone because it's about to die, and then Reagan needs to eat. So I'm going to pause this video, but I promise that I will not do anything else until I can turn it back on and film it for you. As promised, I didn't touch anything else aside from finishing chopping the celery. I'm about to cut open the squashes, and I'm about to cook my ground beef. I have my pork and my chicken in the oven. And while everything is doing its thing, I will open up my stewed tomatoes, finish chopping up my mushrooms, and then I will clean and prep my cauliflower.
I've had a little bit of a pesky spaghetti squash. So I let it cook for about another 15 minutes at 350. This one was bigger than usual.
I'll now put these in the oven again at 350 for about 15 more minutes now that this one is a little bit more tolerable to cut. If you find that yours are still really hard after you cook them for about 15 minutes at 350, these ones are a little bit smaller, obviously they're acorn squashes, then, you know, if you start to cut into it and you just need to pop it in a little bit longer, feel free to do so. You'll be able to tell as soon as you cut into it. So I did a little bit of a light spray of olive oil. Again, I use the spray olive oil, not actual olive oil, because I don't want to use too much. And then I just season it with some pepper. These will go back in the oven for about 15 more minutes. And over here I have my stewed tomatoes cooking, and I'm getting everything laid out to obviously take a beautiful picture of my meal prep. So we are so close to the finish line. It is 6:15, so I mean I got home pretty close to 5, so we really haven't even been at this prep for 2 hours, which is awesome. Oh, here's my seeds. I always de-seed them too, so make sure you take the seeds out first.
Meal prep for the week is completely potato free. Only veggies, protein, and fruits. I love these little acorn squashes. They look so yummy.